Check, check, 1 2 1 2. Hopefully it's working. Said check, but I didn't even check it. Hello. Welcome to Chili's. Welcome to the crypto price action. Welcome to Monday. I don't know what Monday this would be in your life, but hello. Woke up a little bit late. We got up around, I don't know, 2:30. Price action kept me up all night. Not because there was anything really to do. It was just exciting. So today, first thing that I want to do is before we go ahead and start talking about price action in particular, because that stuff is going to work itself on its own. All right, we can talk about that a little bit later in the live stream. First off, we're going to say hello. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the face cam. It's a late start to the day. Have not gotten a shower taken yet. I'm dirty. Hair's a mess. All right, so this is what we're working with today. All right. So what I want to do today is every once in a while, I like to just clean slate my charts and then reorganize, change colors, you know, make it look spiffy, make it look organized. So today on live stream, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how I do that, how I mark out my supports and resistances. We're going to do Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and EOS. Forget XRP. All right. If you guys want me to do XRP, we can do that as well. But that way you guys can kind of get an idea of how I approach creating a chart and then going from there and keeping it well organized. Kyle Douglas first. Hey man, how you doing? You're always first. It's like you're just sitting around waiting. Bitbird, no, I gotta pee. I told you got 5 minutes. Edvard, sup man, how you doing? Aaron, Moon Man, absolutely we're Moon Man. I want to talk about some bullish things happening. That we have some expected targets, but might end up a little bit different. I might get a little bit more price action. I wish Link would get going. Let it do its thing, man. Ain't no need to rush anything. It will get there. The Soy, good morning, Kite. Good morning to you too, buddy. It's a little bit in the late afternoon for me, but good morning, man. I appreciate it. Dizentars, I'm sorry. I always butcher names, so I'm so sorry. Good day, Kite. Good day to you too, man. Bubble Boy, yo, what's up, boy? JP, sup, Kite. Hey, how you doing, buddy? William, hey, what's up? Hi. JP, ETH. Yeah, absolutely. And we'll talk about that last night. So it's kind of morbid, but I have this big TV here, okay, directly in front of my bed. So I tilt it so that I don't have to even sit up in my bed to watch TV. I can just lay flat and the TV is angled towards my eyeballs. And I just put my chart on there and I slowly drift away watching the ticker go up and down. And that's what we fell asleep to. Let's see. James Dunmeyer, hi. Nice Christmas decorations on your intro screen. You can thank Bitbird for that. It's almost New Year's. We have a New Year's decoration as well. Sport Billy, sup? Sup, man? How you doing? Whoop, whoop. Crazy Kangaroo. Morning, Kite and Crew. Good morning, buddy. Samao. I'm sorry. Hey, you said, hey, bro. Hello. How you doing? Madanu. Hi. Hello. XRP Poland. It's all good in the hood. Yes, it is. It's fantastic in the hood. Hello, Kite and Gang. Hope your Christmas was good. Absolutely, man. It was awesome. Hey, Kite, make sure you get your beauty sleep. Yeah, we got to work on that. I got to get back in the regular sleep schedule before we start having the edited live streams because the person I'm working with, our time zones are a little bit different, so I want to make sure that I'm making it easier for him, as well as that's going to make it easier on you guys to get the information if you guys can't catch the live streams. So I found somebody, and pretty much we're going to be able to condense the live streams. Let's say it's a 1 hour live stream. We should be able to condense that into about 15 minutes of pure information. Obviously, we're going to have the talking about price action, technical analysis, but if there's anything thrown in there, such as, pretty much just like little tidbits of information that you guys can find useful, that will also be in those videos. Greetings from my side. Hello. Drew Snyder. Hey. Hello. How you doing, man? I dig your market cipher walkthroughs. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. What's good, Kite? Lou Rock? I remembered. Okay. How you doing, man? What's going on? Are you boys with any other YouTubers? Not really. I mean, I talked to Crypto Bitcoin Chris for about an hour, but I wouldn't call us boys. But he's definitely one of my favorite YouTubers. But I don't really know anybody on YouTube. Morning, Kite. Hope you're doing well, dude. Thank you, man. Thank you, Peruvian Crypto. How you doing, buddy? Good morning. Beautiful nighttime routine. I sleep like while baby listens to Ocean. Tyler T. Hey, Kite. How are you? Doing fantastic, man. How are you? All right, so let's go ahead and hop into it. Like I said, we're going to hold off on talking about short-term time frames and all that good stuff. I just, a lot of times I'll be looking at my charts and I'm like, damn, somewhere down the pipeline, my chart has turned into a mess. So I deleted everything off of these charts and we're going to go through individually and set up organization, color coding, all that good stuff. All right, so we're going to start with Bitcoin. All right, so first thing that we want to do is want to identify the most important supports and resistances. Okay, so normally a normal trader, when they're going through a chart, let's say the daily time frame, all right, they're going to mark out every single support and resistance that they see. They're going to mark out this. So so what I want you to focus on here is we're going to cut this chart in half. Okay, we're going to put up a rectangle so you guys can't see. All right, and then we're going to, we're going to pretend that none of that price action exists, okay? We're purely focusing on the 2018 bear market, okay? So a lot of this price action probably won't be useful from here on out, okay? But we never know, all right? So we want to mark it out just in case. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that what a normal trader would do and then what I would do, all right? So they're going to mark out every high and low, every support, every resistance that they can possibly see. Okay, so this is what a normal trader's chart is going to look like. It's a freaking mess. Okay, this is what I want you guys to focus on. Focus on trends. Okay, if you can connect two highs, that's the best. Okay, so we're going to connect two swing highs to each other, and that creates a single downtrend. All right, and you can see right here. Oh, don't even say it. Don't even say it. I caught myself before it was too late. All right, so let me go ahead and do it again. All right, this is what a normal trader's chart would look like. Boom, boom. This is what a normal trader's chart would look like, and we're just looking at the 2018 bear market, not even the bull market that we're currently in. Okay, so pretty much it's a jumbled mess. There's too much information, and you can see a lot of these supports and resistances do correlate to something that happens in this this side of the market, but that doesn't matter. Okay, what we're looking for is the most important supports and resistances, not only to make our trades easier and more profitable, but as well as that to save on emotions. All right, think of emotions like a battery bank. If you run out of them, you're gonna make a stupid decision. All right, so you want to focus on trends. All right, so you have a downtrend here, an uptrend here. All right, because you can see this downtrend on the daily chart was broken by this small amount of price action. Therefore, this is also a separate uptrend beginning from the bottom that went to go break it. All right, so it doesn't matter how much price action it takes to break the trend. It's a matter of the trend was broken. No ifs, ands, or buts. It was broken. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and then find the next downtrend, which is this one right here. Okay. All right, so from that point on, we now have this. Okay, so when a trend is broken, you mark the high and the low of the trend, like so. All right, and you can see this downtrend, this larger downtrend, was broken right here at about 5K. So then we mark that low as well. So from the 2018 bear market, you could have gotten the, let's go ahead and get our drawing tool. You could have got the support of the descending triangle. You could have got the bottom of the downtrend right here. You could have got the top of the top of the coronavirus crash. And then obviously we slipped through this major support resistance for a little bit, but then we got back above it and then found support. And then up here we found resistance, broke through it, went back down to retest it, went up here, found resistance for a little bit, and then we broke through it. Okay, so you can see how simple that made things, and that was just using the 2018 bear market. Now, new supports and resistances are going to show up, all right, just in case. All right, so this was a single uptrend here, which ended on the break. So this was our top, and then this was a downtrend that was very short-lived, and then this was our bottom. All right, so these are all of the major supports and resistances when it comes to the daily time frame. Now I'm looking at averages here, so obviously wicks are going to vary. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to set up a group for these. So we're going to go ahead and right-click on our screen. We're going to hit Object Tree, and we see all of the horizontal supports and resistances here on our chart. Okay, just making sure that you guys can see it. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on one of the horizontal lines, and we're going to go ahead and click New Group with that little folder icon, and we're going to name this Macro. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on one of the horizontal lines that are not in the group, hold Shift on my keyboard, and then click on the last one, and that's going to highlight all of them in between. We're going to go ahead and hit Shift, not hit Shift, but just drag and drop them into the macro folder, and then we're going to hit Lock. Okay. Now when we're moving around our screen, there's no chance of us messing up these supports and resistances. Now, as we cut down to smaller time frames, all right, let's say that you're trying to work on a specific range, okay? So you want to understand where the macros are, but as well as that, you want to go ahead and turn these off when you're working on these smaller time frame supports and resistances, and then you can do another folder just for the smaller time frames, and then switch them on and off at will, all right? So a lot of this price action, we really don't have to worry about that, to be frank. All right, unless we start getting close to looking like we're going to go back down, then I'll go ahead and mark all of them out. But we're going to go ahead and start with the supports and resistances on the smaller time frames that are relative to us now. So I'm going to go ahead and mark out this right here. We're going to go ahead and change the color of it. What should we do? We should do teal. I like teal. We're going to go ahead and mark out the top and the bottom. And then we'll go ahead and we'll mark out this top and this bottom for right now. And you can see we created more horizontal lines over here in the object tree. Go ahead and create a new group and call it, you know, we'll call it micro, even though it's not like a super micro time frame. And then do the same exact method, click it, boom, and we can turn it off and on at will. All right, so that's Bitcoin. Also, if you want to, you can add trends. You can do diagonal lines. I'm not too big on those. I really don't care. I can kind of see them visually just in my mind's eye. So, I mean, if I'm trying to highlight them for you and show it off as a particular reasoning for something I'm doing, I will draw those, but it's more noise. Like I said, your object here is to, your mission here is to keep your chart as simple looking as possible, but yet effective for you to use on a daily basis. All right. As well as that, we got RSI. Good thing to do on the RSI is just go ahead and find the 50 on your chart, and then go ahead and hit Alt H and mark that out. All right, and then what you want to do is, like, let's say, you know, we talk about the 50 a lot of the times. All right, you can see right here, the 1 hour is kind of going up and above, down below, around the 50. So just go to one higher time frame, and you can see that the 2 hour is holding more steady, you know, either around or above the 50. So the 2 hours is what we're looking at here. So if we can get a bounce off this 2 hour time frame around the 55, I think we're going to go on another run. But that's pretty much it when it comes to that. Obviously, one thing that I did want to talk about while we're on Bitcoin here, is the large time frames. All right, so we talked about Fibonacci trend extensions. What does that mean? All right, so let's look at the larger time frames. This is a solid uptrend that was broken into a downtrend. So we can theoretically apply Fibonacci trend extensions to this. Okay. So right here, we still haven't hit the 1.618, but we have broken the 1, all right? The 1 is at directly, you can see we held that as support at 22,542. So theoretically, we are trying to get to $34,000 before any major retracement or consolidation from here on out. So, I mean, we could pretty much just mark out all of these 0.618 numbers as we go up. Boom, boom, We can go ahead and go to 3.618. All right, 8.618, 13, 22. All right. So, I mean, I'm looking for the 8.618. I'm looking for $169,000 as our technical top. But who knows? We'll see how that works out in the future. But, you know, if you wanted to do something like that, you can. But obviously, that's a lot of noise. But it doesn't really look that bad when we go to the smaller time frames, such as the 1 hour to 2 hour. You know, we've still got plenty of space. So let's go ahead and move on to Ethereum, and we can do that as well. Let's go to the daily chart. And we're going to go ahead and mark out any major supports and resistances that we see. Now, you can do this two different ways. You can either do this as a downtrend in itself, or if you want to go ahead and say that this is a separate downtrend, you can do that. We'll do both for the sake of things. So we're going to go ahead and do this, 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 and this. Okay. So these are all the major supports and resistances when it comes to Ethereum. Obviously, we talk about the larger double bottom that is in play. We retested the previous horizontal resistance of the double bottom. We rounded it out, got an inverse head and shoulders, and now this is where we're at, $731. So that would presumably make the next major resistance around $800. Now, like on Bitcoin with the 2018 bear market, all right, it is possible to get up to a resistance and not hold resistance on it, but rather get past it and find support. All right. So, when we go back to really talk about momentum and targets and, you know, stuff like that, instead of just setting up the chart, we're going to talk about something that might make me think that we're actually going to get past $800, go, you know, a certain amount above it. I don't know exactly what the price is going to be, but then come back down and find support on $800 rather than holding it as resistance. Now, either or is an option. I really don't care. It would actually be better if we held resistance, because then we can take a nice breakout trade up to 1,345. But we'll see. We'll see. All right. So once again, go ahead and right click on your chart. We're going to go ahead and go to object tree. Click and a rename macro. Just like so. Hold shift, click on the last one. Boom. And then we got it. As well as that, I want to change these to red. I want red to be my macro resistances, and then I want teal to be my micro. And I think if you hold control, you can't change all the colors at the same time. That's unfortunate. Red, red, and red. Okay. So making sure that you have a certain color that means a specific thing, making sure that you understand how your chart works. So red is macro, teal is micro. That's what I want to go for. Okay. Moving on, Litecoin. We're going to go ahead and talk about this. This also has pretty much a double bottom. Okay. So it could be exactly like Ethereum, and we get up to 140, and instead of holding resistance, we get past it and then retest it for support in order to complete our full target of 385. Because you can see right here, it's pretty much the same exact concept. Double bottom. Okay. So if we get past 140 and we stay above it, it's an if this, then that. If we are above 140, then that target of 350 is true. We will get there no matter how much time it takes, as long as the other, what do they call it in coding? As long as the other variable does not change. All right, so we're going to go ahead and look at our trends here. So once you get to a certain point, you should be able to just kind of see it. You don't even have to draw the trends exactly. You can kind of just see it in your mind's eye. So we have top, bottom, and this one's a lot easier than a lot of the other ones. Bottom, top, and you can see right here, a lot of the times we're going to go back down to retest previous supports and resistances. You can see we got a little bit lower on this this bottom for this downtrend. I'm not going to mark that out. That's just added noise. It's an extra line for no reason. You can see that it was basically this line that we found support off of, and it went back to retest this one. All right. And since we really didn't hold much resistance at 65, it's kind of not even a support and resistance that's useful. We found support off of it, so we'll mark it out. We'll mark it out. I don't want to set a bad example for you guys. All right. So the next major local high is 140. That will either be resistance at first, and then we'll have a breakout above it, or we are going to get above it and then come back down to retest. That's what we're looking for. I don't think I saw anything on the RSI. We'll recheck it as we go back through and see if we see a double bottom off of the 50, maybe a single bounce off the 50. ETH is the one in particular that I'm almost certain that we will get past $800 initially and then go back down to retest. I'm almost positive of that. All right, as well as that, like I said, if you have a larger trend in play like we did on Litecoin. All right, so when we were looking at Litecoin a couple months ago, all right, the main thing that I was telling you guys about is wait for not only the first local high to break, but as well as that, the downtrend to break, because then you're amplifying the reasons why you are in a bullish position. So we waited for this exact moment. We broke the first local high and we jumped in around $67. That was our exact entry almost. And as well as that, we got a couple good trades off of it as well. So that is exactly what you want to wait for. So this is going to lead me into the next chart, which is EOS. Let me go ahead and make up the macro folder here. Boom, boom, boom. And there we go. That should be good. All right, so that's going to lead me into EOS. All right, EOS, a lot of people are asking me, when am I going to start trading it? Or, should we be looking at it? Now, I do think you could possibly insert some spot into it, but I would not be leverage trading it at the moment. Until we are fully bullish, and we're too close to the end of the downtrend, and we're too close to beginning an uptrend, there's too much room for error. You don't want to leverage trade when the range is capitulating at its pinnacle, which is what we truly are doing right now. Once we break it and we really start trending hard, that's when it's really easy to see a resistance, break a resistance, take a trade, and continue to grow the portfolio, whatever you're trying to do from there. So we'll start with the overall trend. This is the overall trend of EOS. Okay, so we are still in a bear market when it comes to EOS. Everything else is breaking out. EOS not confirmed yet. All right, so now let's go ahead and start marking out our tops and bottoms. All right, so we have the bottom of this downtrend here. I don't know what the top is. I mean, I would assume this is the top, but we don't know if that's all of the price action. So I'm just going to go with what we can, what's valid in my eyes. So top of this, bottom of this, top of this. And you can see this one, it's using this and as well as this one. So we're not going to draw an extra line for that. And we'll mark out this top, and this bottom is using this previous support resistance. So I know this one's a little bit closer, but we're going to go with this one instead, because more than likely on the wicks, we went up to retest around 3.8. So I'm not too concerned about that. So what I would be waiting for is a break of the local high of about $3.83. Okay. Once we get above that, we will not only be breaking the downtrend, but also breaking the first major local high. And from that point on to the, the major high that we're really trying to retest, that is 100% right there. And as well as that, once we get past that, who knows? I don't have a personal prediction for EOS. I do like it as a coin and what the utility is trying to be used for. EOS is trying to be the cryptocurrency that you can legitimately use at Starbucks. The transfer time is pretty much instant, unlike a lot of cryptocurrencies. I mean, Ethereum's faster, but it's not instant. It's about 5-10 minutes, but Bitcoin's 15. So, all right. So that's all of the coins. Let's go ahead and make that last folder right here. Macro. I'm sorry, I'm still waking up, guys. I know I'm usually a little bit more excited than this, but Trust me, I'm just waking up. I'm not bored. We're here. All right. So let's go ahead and start talking about the smaller time frames. Let's drop down to the 1 hour. Okay. First thing that we want to go ahead and do is look for a time frame that is finding support off of the 50, which you can see right here. We are finding support off the 50. If we get a bounce from here, that will be amplifying momentum. And as well as that, you can kind of see a inverse head and shoulders around that 50. Okay. That can be another swing to the upside. All right. So as long as we don't break below, I would say 26,000, we're pretty much good. We're golden. All right. We just have to let things work themselves out. Now we want to go to the daily time frame and see if there's any room left. All right. So you can see the high here is about 90 and we're at about 85. So we have a little bit more room to the upside. There is some potential. And as well as that, we can always come back further down and retest and then get a bounce from there. But, you know, you can kind of see a double top starting to form. Now, the good thing is in the short terms, this is bullish convergence, nothing major. There is some bearish divergence here, but that's exactly what you want. Okay. So right here, for example, this is a perfect example. We have bearish divergence. We have a significantly higher high on Bitcoin, but we have a lower high on the RSI. So that can trick people into bearish positions. You know, obviously I can flip on the, on the drop of a dime, depending on what's happening on the smaller time frames, but a lot of people are stubborn. So what happens is when you have a bearish divergence that is stopped by bullish convergence, it is a transfer of momentum. So my favorite analogy to explain this is when you are playing with a ball and you throw it at a glass window, okay? So you put 100% of your energy into the ball, but if the window doesn't break, all right, 25% of the energy gets transferred into the window as vibrations, and then that's pretty much what we see on the market. So if it's a bearish divergence, we'll drop a slight bit. That's the transfer of momentum, that 25%. But if the window doesn't break, i.e. bullish convergence, then it will bounce back with 75% of what's left over, okay? And that's the gigantic spike. So it's literally that exact analogy. It's a great way to trick people into a certain position and then using it against them. Hopefully that made sense. All right. I've said that analogy 1,000 times. I know a lot of you guys have already heard of it, but for anybody that hasn't, all right, this happens a lot on momentum indicators. There's a reason why they're free. They can trick you into positions, they make money. But that same thing can happen. As long as we don't break that double bottom or, at the very most break the 50, we're fine. So nothing really harsh to talk about here. It's just kind of working itself out. If we go ahead and click on the wicks and bring our support and resistance, a little bit down, not to the full length of the wick, but right here. All right, that would signify our tops and bottoms, and that could help you take a breakout trade. So top is somewhere around 28,117. The bottom is at about $26,000 exactly. All right, and we're finding support along the 50, so it's a good sign. All right, and if we drop down to the 1 minute, let's see what we can see. What I was staring at last night, and if you're on the 1 minute chart, okay, being on the 1 minute chart is not necessarily a death wish. All right, but let me show you the difference. All right, if you're on the 1 minute chart like this, looking at this price action, you're doing it all wrong. You need to zoom out until you no longer can zoom. Okay. All right. Once you are fully zoomed out, that's when the 1 minute chart is useful. Okay. Because then you can actually spot patterns. You can spot inverse head and shoulders. Okay. And we're trying to retest these areas right here, but we only got up to this one. All right. So that is how you're supposed to use the 1 minute chart. Don't use the 1 minute chart zoomed in like a crackhead. All right. It's stupid. So if we're looking at this as an inverse head and shoulders here, you can see that this is kind of the left shoulder support. And then obviously the head is the bottom of the range. So, I mean, as long as we continue to hold above this, you can see we have the possibility for a double bottom. You can see on the 1 minute time frame, we are getting a significantly higher low on the RSI, and we're kind of getting the same low on price action. So this could turn into a double bottom, which brings us back up to 2714 or 27,414. And as long as we continue to hold this price level, you know, within some variability, it will want to go back up and retest the top of the range, more than definitely. It's just taking some time to work itself out. All right, so Bitcoin, we covered that. We even looked at the 1 minute. Let's go ahead and talk about Ethereum and why I think $800 is going to be insignificant. Insignificant. All right, so let's go ahead and go to the 1 hour first. And let's go ahead and mark out the previous range. All right, so that way we can go ahead and have that as support resistance. All right, so this is the previous range. Now you might be saying, well, what about all this stuff happening? All right, ranges can overlap. All right, you have to get used to that. They can overlap. And you can kind of see there was a double bottom here, which led to this retest to the upside. And that is exactly what we retested right here. So when we were looking at this back in the past, I really didn't see that double bottom, and that was the reason why we went back here. I mean, obviously, I got the trade, but I was basing it off of this diagonal. This diagonal was a little bit more lengthy. This was about 27 days old. And the longer the diagonal is consistent, the more likely I am to make a trade off of it. Now, we are in an uptrend on top of an uptrend. So we have this previous diagonal as well. And the wicks kind of touched it right here as well. So we have this channel that is also acting as support. So if anything is likely, all right, if we do get up to $800 and see a rejection, which I don't know if we will, then we most likely will come back down and use this as support, build a higher low, and then break out from there, and then come back down and retest, and then continue up from there. All right. Now let me show you my reasoning why I think this is not exactly going to end up the way that we think it will initially. All right, and I could be wrong. But let's just talk about it. We talk about the 50 on the RSI a lot. All right, and the more bounces you have off the 50, the less you are likely to want to short it. We have a double bottom off of not the 4 hour, but the daily chart. The daily chart. Okay, so we're at resistance right now. Okay, we are trying to break the horizontal resistance. Let me go ahead and zoom in for you. Come on, you let me do this. Okay, so we are trying to break the horizontal resistance of this double bottom on the RSI. All right, so more than likely what we're going to see is probably we're going to get past that, shoot up to $800, and then go back down to retest the horizontal and retest it to confirm support, which is going to, you know, the rejection from 800. But I don't think it's going to be a long-standing rejection. Maybe a day. And then once we get that bounce, we shoot above $800. We're looking for a target of about 89 on the RSI, but look for a lower high. And then from there, that will be the final rejection. Go back down to 800 and then try to find support there. That's what I'm expecting. And I'm not reading chat right now. I'm just trying to get through all the coins. So I'll go back through and I'll try to look at every single message after we're finished talking about this. But that's pretty much when it comes to Ethereum. Not a whole lot to talk about. So last night, once we got above this is where we took our entry on the retest of that. That was really cool to do live on Livestream. You know, I gave you guys my exact reasoning. Someone said, would I set up a limit order there? I said no, because we're going to wick through that. And then once we get back above it, that's when I would enter on market. That's the exact thing that happened. And then we're up to where we are now. Good news is we made $1,000 overnight to the $100 portfolio. So at the beginning of the live stream the other day, literally yesterday, we were at like $1,700, $1,500. By the end of the live stream, we got back up to $2,000. All right. And then around 5, 6 a.m. last night, we got to $3,000. off of the Ethereum trade, and we still have $1,000 more to go in terms of profit. All right, so last but not least, but we're going to talk about EOS. XRP, as we've talked about it enough, all right, it needs a lot more time to work out on the larger time frames. I still think it's bullish, but we'll talk about that on a later date. All right, if you guys really want to see it, I will check it out, but there's no new information to talk about whatsoever. All right, so EOS, let's go ahead and check out the smaller time frames. Let's check out the daily first. We are still not consistently finding support off the 50. All right, which is sad to see. All right, let's check out the 4 hour, see if the 4 hour has any support off the 50. Okay, so we are above the 50 now on the RSI. As well as that, it looks like we're trying to form a inverse head and shoulders to get out of this downtrend, to be honest, from an RSI perspective, and it looks like it's going to try to form on a price action perspective. So, I mean, like I said, I'm not looking for any positions yet. I'm waiting for $3.83 to break first. So, just wanted guys to give you a heads up. We're trying to spot that pattern so we know ahead of time that we should be looking for that break of $3.83. Because, you know, those smaller cap coins, they can happen pretty fast. Okay, time to read chat. It's been too long. Let's see. RJ, how you doing, man? Can you take a look at a crypto for me and suggest possible longs? Thanks for your videos. Yeah, if you just throw it in the chat, I'll take a look at it. Good evening, Kite. I think those targets are very reasonable. It has hit the fib extensions in prior cycles, so why would it not at this point? Exactly. Damn, I missed the notification. What's up, buddy? How you doing? John, how you doing, man? What's going on? Guys, download his calculator description and confirm that it's broken. He needs to re-upload. I re-uploaded it. I even replied to your message saying that I changed the link of the previous live stream and I re-uploaded it. It's a totally separate calculator now. LTC crushing it. Absolutely. XRP still getting wrecked. It depends on how you look at it. Dangerous with alts. When BTC drops, they all will drop really hard. I don't think so. We dropped, what, $2,000 on BTC and barely saw anything happen to ETH or LTC. Like, they're correlated, don't get me wrong, but there is a separation going on. In bull markets, it works completely differently. You're going to see BTC dump and the altcoins actually rise because it's a transfer. You can't have your money in all one place, so people like to make money in a different way. Any other trading view tips to make your life easier? The biggest thing is learning how to manipulate the chart faster. That's the main thing. All right. So when I teach lessons to people, there usually comes a part of the lesson, unless we don't have time, I kind of just give it as homework. Well, I want to sit there and watch them build a chart. I see them constantly use the toolbar. Okay. Now, there is certain things that you have to use the toolbar for, but like fib retracements, you can hit Alt F, or yeah, Alt F and then click. Okay. Memorizing the hotkeys is the biggest thing. You know, Alt H for a horizontal. You know, memorizing those, being able to manipulate, draw supports and resistances extremely quickly instead of having to individually click on each tool. That's the best thing. Other than using Alt I for instant market manipulation. You know. Mr. D, it didn't work for me right away, but it did open on Dropbox. I just don't have Excel. I use Google Sheets, so it would convert the file most probably. Them crackheads and their 1 minute charts, hey? I used to be one, man. I used to scalp on the 30-second, and I did make money, man. Me and Seth, we made money on the 30-second chart. Wonderful day. I remember that like it was yesterday. Yes, I love the shortcut keys. Is there a shortcut key for getting Kite knowledge? Meet me on the astral plane. I'll transfer my entire library to you. Gently mash the keyboard with your face until you unlock your own DMT. Yeah, pretty much. Did he do XRP already? Not yet. Like I said, if you guys really want that, I will, but we haven't. There's not a whole lot to talk about. We talked about the macros, and that's all. That's really what matters right now. What do you mean when you say the ETH trade? So last night when we were on Livestream, all right, I entered a ETH long with 33x live. So pretty much we were looking at the 1 hour chart, and I was saying at the beginning of the live stream that I overslept and I missed my first entry on the break of this Ethereum trade. So I used that as an example. I said, you know, I could take my trade now, but then the risk to reward ratio is going to be quite awful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hope that there's a retest of that previous resistance and confirm support before continuing to move on. So as we were talking, that exact situation happened. And somebody asked, hey, would you set a limit order above that previous resistance right now, or would you wait? And I said I would wait, because more than likely on the retest, we are going to get a significant wick past that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for the wick to go past, and I'm going to wait for price action to retrace back up, and then I will take my trade. That way I can have a better stop loss, and from there on out, it should go up. And that's exactly what happened. Kite Crypto, you have to explain the wonders of your $100 account. So 1 month ago, 1 month and 1 day ago, I started a $100 account, and it is up to $3 grand now. And by the end of these couple of trades, we'll be anywhere from $4 to $5 grand. And after the next subset of trades, we're going to be anywhere from 12 to 15 grand. Essentially, what I'm doing is I'm using leverage to my advantage, obviously, but I am being very, very risky to start the account, and then as we continue to grow the account, I'm dropping the risk percentage, but as well keeping my profits high. That way we can gradually grow the account. My hope is in about 5 to 6 months, or at least by the end of the bull market, I would have turned around $100 into over $1 million, and I'm going to be giving most of that away to family members and you guys. Wow, I did not realize my camera was so small. All right, let's get that a little bit larger. All right, you think ETH will fall below 730? More than likely. We can go all the way back down to like 707 if we wanted to. Oh, my vape just hit the space bar. And if you have any coins in your watch list, okay, like this, I have a couple coins in my watch list. We can get rid of a couple of these. All right. Like, let's say you don't have like the premium version of not Telegram, TradingView, and you can only have like one chart instead of multiple like I do. All right. If you add them to your watch list and you just hit space, you can switch between them quickly. Chain link cup and handle on the hourly. Awesome. Do you use free charts and indicators? So I mean, I have premium TradingView, but I don't use any premium indicators. I just use RSI and MACD from time to time. Absolutely. I am a huge fan of Monero. I've been screaming about it for a while. I've been a little bit silent lately because, you know, it's one of those coins that are out there. But, you know, there can be some things that happen with XMR that, you know, can cause things to go sideways. So, I mean, if we look at it from a daily perspective, what do you see? All right. You see a double bottom. Oh, what happened there? You see a double bottom, horizontal resistance. We went above it, went back down to retest it. Now our target is $435. As simple as that. I'm not trading XMR. I'm literally just holding on to it. I think it has massive potential over the course of a long period of time. I don't think it's going to go to insane amounts this bull run, but over the course of a long period of time, just like Bitcoin started off with, as it gets exposed to more and more people. In Bybit, do you receive less BTC when you long as your long moves up? So does the value of BTC in USD terms. So yes, because you're getting paid out according to your contracts in the equivalent of BTC. All right. So you're going to receive less Bitcoin per dollar at the top of your trade comparative to the bottom. But that's why shorts are really, really profitable in the long term. Okay. Because you're getting more BTC as the trade moves further and further down. You also have to have a different mindset as well. So like this trade that I'm making on Ethereum right now, if we reach $800, I would have made 2 ETH, okay, which is $1,600. But you have to think about the implications of that in the future, right? So that same 1.8 ETH or 2 ETH is going to be worth 10 grand someday, right? So this trade right now, even though I say, okay, I'm making $2,000 off this trade, realistically, if you understand the way things are going to go, I'm making 10 grand off this trade right now. All right, you got to think in the future. Future think. Hey Kitty, by the way, would you think of entering BTC now as stupid? It looks like support now at 26.7. Also, ETH and LTC looks like a rejoin at the moment. I'd say wait, man. I'd say wait. I know. I mean, if you want to, I would say if you're going to do it, use less risk. Unless you are waiting for the break of that resistance, I would say don't use incredible risk. You know, maybe set up a 1 minute time frame trade off of this inverse head and shoulders. You know, our last low was right here, so count on that. You know, you could set up a trade like this. Okay. Just like this, and then have maybe a stop loss right here of about like 0.88%. And then if we're targeting like $30,000, all right, you know, maybe, you know, as psychological resistance, maybe. All right. I mean, that comes out to a 14. All right. But I would say, you know, even though it's a 14, use 1% risk. Don't use 5%. Don't use 10%. Stupid. That's stupid. But this is a valid trade. If you see a valid pattern like an inverse head and shoulders, and you are taking the correct setup and having your stop loss where you think it should be, if you see a valid pattern, all right, that is the most important thing. All right. Taking a trade anywhere can be valid, but you have to have a legitimate reason. Otherwise, that is stupid. But this is a valid pattern. Now, the initial target is going to be the top of the arm. So, I mean, realistically, you should be taking profits around there and then re-entering the trade. All right. But up to you. That is a possibility. Azimio Payne. I don't know how to pronounce it. Hey Kite, late to the show. Hope you're well. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Can you take a look at Oh My God BTC? I love that name. BTC. Let's look at the daily chart first. I can't give you any valid. I mean, we can look at the RSI. We're getting a bullishly diverging RSI. So, I mean, that's good. I would say, you know, wait for a break of this resistance and then enter. That's your only chance at the moment. You're getting a bullishly diverging RSI. So you should be turning around. You know, you might end up with an inverse head and shoulders here. Who knows? But in terms of where you should enter, this is your last valid rejection. So that would be where I'd be looking to enter. And this is on the 1 hour chart, Hakonishi candles, no wicks. All right, if you need to replicate this. And the last one is Alliance Block. The ticker is ALBT. ALBT. Looks like you should be entering pretty soon. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, if you want to just go with the trend, you should be entering very soon. All right, this is your last valid rejection. It's a single rejection, so you want to look for the wick. And the wick isn't too far away, so I mean, we'll just call it here. All right, so you would probably want to enter on the break of that resistance. So probably somewhere around 40 cents. Yeah, this is tether, so 40 cents. Somewhere around there, set your stop loss below. Let it ride. We're trying to find out which time frame is getting consistency off of the 50. Let's try 6 hour. 4 hour. Okay, so the 4 hour is what you want to pay attention to. Okay. That's the one that's going to show the most support off the 50. So we're getting a bounce off the 50. So more than likely we're going to break this. Hopefully that helped you out. So no more MC? Nah, I don't use Market Cipher anymore. All right, so this CNH seems to be working out on Link. Cup and handle? Yeah, let's go ahead and we can take a look at that. Yeah, I see what you mean. It does seem to be, you know, cup and handling here. We talked about this double bottom the other day, I believe, with that as the target. And I forgot. Oh, we were also talking about, you know, a larger double bottom if it did want to come further down to the range. But we're mainly waiting for a break of $15.68 in order for us to, you know, presume that this is going to continue with any significance. I can look at Stellar and Cardano. Stellar's XLM, right? Am I wrong? Let's see. All right, so daily first. All right, so inverse head and shoulders into an inverse head and shoulders. Okay, so this is the left shoulder. This is the left shoulder. And you can see what I'm talking about here. All right, so we have inverse head and shoulders. And then we're also trying to make a larger inverse head and shoulders. Okay, so this is the resistance that we stamped in on the lower time frames right here. Okay, looks like we want to get a bull flag going. Now this kind of looks similar to XRP. It looks similar to XRP, and XRP is similar in fundamentals, kind of. I like XLM more than XRP, but looks kind of similar. All right, so I'd just be wary. All right, but if anything, you're waiting for a break of 22 cents, and you should skyrocket from there to the next local high. Probably on the smaller time frames, 27 cents, and then 32 cents, and then the ultimate target being around 45 cents. So we'll just call that. And then last but not least, Cardano. Cardano, we talked about the double bottom, the price action coming back down to retest and finding support. Then we were talking about the trend-based Fibonacci's here. Let's go down to the 1 hour. Actually, you know what? This is an uptrend broken. This is an uptrend. Okay. So we actually have to look at this a little bit differently. Okay, so I would say your next major target on Cardano is going to be about 22 cents. And then after 22 cents, about 27 cents. That's what we're looking for. And we're kind of using the 0.5 as resistance at the moment. Hey Kite, do you always hold trades close to the take profit? Is there anything that would make you take profit early? All right, that's a good question. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about this previous range. All right, this is the last example I can really think of this happening. All right, so A, you're not going to start this. You don't need attention 24/7. All right, so we're going to go ahead and stamp in the top of the range and the bottom of the range. And simply put, we're going to long the bottom and short the tops. So right here, we shorted the top of this range. Okay. Now, as we were coming further and further down, my take profit was right here. Okay. Now, I felt like this was a good take profit. It's not looking for the exact bottom. It's giving me a higher low. And we got very damn close on the wicks. Okay. But we didn't hit our take profit. What do we do now? All right. Do we just immediately exit? No. We have to wait for a bullish reversal pattern. So I saw this double bottom start to form, and I was watching this horizontal resistance closely. So we entered here and we were expecting this, but instead of taking our profits there, we now have to take our profits here on the break of this bullish reversal pattern. And then we took a long and we longed it up to here. We took profits. We tried to short. That failed. It got past the range. We tried to take a breakout trade. That failed. And then once we came back in, we shorted again. But good question. Good question. Lay down, fishy. Too late to enter ETH? Kind of. Really is. If you see a significant rejection on like the 30-minute to 1 hour, a significant rejection, okay? Something that you can visibly see, not a small little blip like this, okay? Then mark out that top, and then you can take a breakout trade from there on a smaller time frames. But I would say personally, just wait, man. There's going to be better opportunities. Ever done or thought of doing a collaboration with other YouTubers? Not really. I don't feel like I'm a large enough channel yet to reach out to other people. I don't know. It's not really on my mind. Typically collaborations, I would love to get to know more people and explore different ideologies, but there's no real use for it. You know, I'm not really looking to change up my play style or anything like that. I'll do pretty well. So, I mean, hey, I don't know. Any recommended sites or YouTube videos to start with cryptocurrencies? Look at Crypto Bitcoin Chris's channel. He's really good. Or Crypto Revolutions, that's what he's called now. He's really good at explaining things simply like I am. As well as that, Crypto Zombie, if you want to keep up to date on news and new coins and stuff like that. I mean, if you're really just trying to get into cryptocurrencies, just look up a simple "what is Bitcoin," unless you already know that answer. Thanks for answering. Is there anything on the ETH trade so far that you could see taking profit early? No. Nothing. All right. I use the 1 hour chart. You know, a lot of people they'd probably be like, "Isn't this a double top?" Nah, that's that's not a double top. All right, you need some actual price action in order to say that this is a double bottom. Okay, this is a double bottom. You can see it. Okay, all these small little blips up and down, those are insignificant to me. I need to be able to distinguish wholeheartedly that that is a pattern, a bearish reversal pattern. This right here, this just looks like a pullback for continuation. Yep, we're still in the BTC trade. We're still in the Ethereum trade, and we're still in the Litecoin trade. Currently, the $100 account is up to $3 grand. And by the end of all these trades, we should be anywhere from $4 to $5 grand. I'm very excited, guys. You know, last night I really had to calm my monkey brain. Because, you know, I start seeing the profits roll in. I start conceptualizing what we're going to be at in the next couple of months. But we're going to play it by ear. Nothing is set in stone. What my plan is to make... I want to make a couple $1 million off the $100 account. Because at that point, it's just free money. I have my personal account, which is doing very well. But I'm truly excited just about the $100 account, because that literally nothing has come out of my pocket except for $100, which is literally like, I don't know, two DoorDash dinners. Hey bro, you think alts will have their day again? Like, will there be another alt rally when Bitcoin slows down? Most definitely, more towards the middle of the bull run. We're going to see some slower price action at the beginning of this year, more than likely. Now, I was saying in the previous live stream that this bull run is not looking like 2017, which was a lot slower. That bull run took about 2 years to fully complete. I'm talking about 2013, where it was a rocket ship. All right. Now, obviously, it's not going to be a straight up, but I think this might be a little bit faster than we're expecting. Fine by me, but, you know, slower it goes, the more money we make. Where are you trading LTC? I'm trading it on Bybit with USDT equivalent. So when I make money off of my LTC trades, right, I have to make sure that I leave enough USDT in there for the margin for the next LTC trade. But what I typically do is I transfer the USDT into, I wait for the correct place to do it. I just don't do it because, but I'll transfer it into, you know, a little bit into EOS, a little bit into Ethereum. I'm still accumulating some XRP. Don't get me wrong. So you want to make sure that if you're making USDT, that money is also working for you as well, not just sitting in USDT. If we're in a bear market, you want to keep your money in USDT. But if we're in a bull market, you want to keep your money in assets. I find it easier to spot patterns with Hakonishi candlesticks. Absolutely. And I mean, I'm not knocking, you know, regular candles. I just don't think they look as clean. All right. If you have regular candles and you turn off the wicks, you're going to get similar results. You can see double top here, break of the horizontal, and then continuation to the downside. Yeah, you can see patterns. You can see this double bottom. You can see this double bottom. But I think Hakonishis help you with trends a lot better, as well as that they just look clean and a lot simpler to look at. How many Bybit accounts do you have? I have one account for the $100 account. I have a swing trade account. I have a scalp trade account. I have a funding account. I have a couple spot accounts. I have a lot of stuff to keep track of. If you guys need a app that keeps track of, you can link to different APIs so it tracks it real time, or you can just manually enter the information. I've been using Delta ever since 2016. Delta, I don't know if it's on App Store, but I know it's on Play Store. I love that app. It keeps track of all my portfolios. Yeah, let me see if I can. Hold on. I can't really show it off, but it's a good app. A funding account is taking advantage of the funding rate on Bybit. All right. My funding trade has been cut, but let me explain it like this. All right. So let's go to Bitcoin. All right. Let's go ahead and say, from a daily perspective, all right, this is not exact, but we'll talk about it. All right, so let's say that you get a short position, and this is what I don't get when people say shorts are less less profitable than longs. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get the calculator up. All right, so let's say that I have a funding rate account with $1 million in it. Okay, that's 100,000. Okay. All right, and I'm using 5% risk. So let's do 10% margin, 50% risk, $50,000 risk. All right, let's say that I have I need to make this a little bit larger. Let's say that I have a 9% stop loss. All right, so I am using 555,000 contracts. All right, so let's go ahead and go to a calculator here. Typically, the majority of the time, I would say 95% of the time, funding rate is positive because more people are bullish even in bear markets. All right, so if you are in a short, instead of paying funding, you receive funding. Okay, so the funding rate is based off of how many contracts you're using. So if we have 555,000 contracts, okay, we are receiving around, the funding rate is typically, unless things are going really crazy, the funding rate is typically around 0.01%. What is it at right now? Let's say BTC, for example. Yeah, the funding rate is 0.1%. Okay. So let's say, for example, on an average day, it's 0.02%. All right. So what would that come out to? All right. So this would be 10%, 1%, and the next one would be 0.1%. So let's say 2%. All right. So if I have a 100,000 margin, $50,000 risk with 555,000 contracts at 6x, all right, I'm going to be receiving $111 every 8 hours if the funding rate is 0.02%. Okay, so I'm going to be receiving that 3 times a day. All right, so let's go ahead and say that we held this trade not for the profit from the exact bottom, but instead of that, we're just going to hold the trade until we get stopped out. All right, so we held this trade for 487 days. All right, and this is on the lowest end of things. 487 days. So you might be saying to yourself, well, you probably could have made substantially more. You could have made $300,000 if you took your profit at the exact bottom. Here's what you're not thinking about. All right, this I don't have to touch. All right, I find the correct position from a technical top that's going to hold for a long period of time, and I don't touch it. I don't even have to look at the account. And every day I'm accumulating at different price levels. So let's say that that the majority of our asset was accumulated around $8,476. Okay, so we're going to take this profit number and divide it by 8,476. So we made 19.13 Bitcoin. All right, and to this day, at about $26,744, that trade is now worth $511,000. That's what funding. Hey. We don't bark like that. Okay. So that's what funding is. All right. So, I mean, you take that same number. All right. Yeah, pretty much 19.13. And let's say we get to 150 grand for one Bitcoin. That trade right there, that one single trade that you didn't even have to touch made you a couple $1 million. All right. So you were going to lose 50,000, but you made a couple mil. Sound good? I think it does. Where would you go through a double bottom top trade trading strategy? How you go about taking a trade? So, with a double bottom, you have two different options. Okay, so let's talk about this double bottom right here. All right, this is typically what my strategy consists of. All right, after taking profits, you're going to wait for a rejection in the market and then look for a reversal pattern. All right, so you have two options. You can either take the breakout of the resistance, like right here, and take that breakout and set your stop loss below that support resistance, or you can go for the more risky trade and try to get an entry here with a stop loss here. All right, usually I try to go for the more risky trade. Now, with that being said, all right, once the price action gets above this resistance, then you can move your stop below it. Okay, but until that happens, you can't move your stop. And then you let it carry to the target. Right here, the target was 19,253. So you would have taken your profits right there. It would have went slightly above, but hey, that's not up to you. The rich people don't make money off of longing. They make money off of shorting. As you can see right there. That's how people accumulate massive amounts of wealth. And it looks like they're the most lazy people in the world. They use their brain. They figure out the exact right time to short. And you could see I had a very substantial stop loss on that. All right. I had a 10% stop loss. All right. If I had a 5% stop loss and got lucky, that 2.8 million could have been 10 million. All right. So I've been holding one of those trades. I haven't been holding, that specific trade right there. All right. I did mine from the coronavirus crash. Okay. Because I was looking at the major supports and resistances. I had a very large stop loss, and I've been holding it ever since we broke that. So, I mean, I only got a couple months of accumulation in that, but it was enough to make me some nice pocket change. What are the next big challenges for CHL and EOS in the coming year? $3.80 is the biggest thing when it comes to EOS. After that, it's going to be about $5.36. And then after that, $7, well, $8 to be exact. And then after $8, it's smooth sailing from there. Did you just say ETH is tanking? Does that look like it's tanking to you? Does that look like tanking? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be mean. I just want you to get this. This is tanking. Okay. This, not tanking. All right. Don't know too much about CHL. We'll take a look at it. Is it a stock or is it a crypto? That's the problem, man. If you're on the 1 minute chart, you're like, oh my God, it's the dump of a century. All right, look at this. That's the previous resistance of this inverse head and shoulders. Okay. So now what are we doing? We are double bottoming, and then we'll continue from here. This is also known as ABC flat correction. Is that a nicotine vape? It's DMT. I'm just kidding. It's nicotine. Let's see. Coinbase will suspend trading in XRP in January 19. Suspend. Okay. But I don't know. Let's go. I mean, we'll take a look at XRP. Let's go take a look at XRP. The daily is holding exactly where it should be. I'm not worried about the smaller time frames. But if we do slip below this on a daily chart and then come back up and see a rejection off of these, that's going to be tough. That's going to be tough. While we're at it, let's go look at the 4-day. 4-day has slipped through the 50. That's not good. Let's see where the daily's at. Daily's in the oversold territory. So who knows? I have to go turn on my air conditioner. It's hot as hell in here. I had my heater on full blast and I didn't realize it. Can you please mention CHL in your live stream? I asked you a question. All right. Is it a crypto or is it a stock? Because when I look up CHL, that ticker, all right, no cryptos pop up. It's all stocks. You got to tell me which one, man. DPW stock. Well, I guess with this one. Let's see. Looks like you got an inverse head and shoulders recovery here. You're getting a bounce off the 50 on the RSI. That's a good starting place. I would say wait for a break of $11.58. This is just technical analysis. I don't know anything about this this stock. Nope. Don't have the 1 second chart. 1 minute chart. You can see this was the previous resistance. You can see how it's turning into new support here. All right, we could slip through it, but who knows? As well as that, we got a bullishly diverging RSI. When does Trump leave? He leaves in the middle of January. Nah, DMT is a very religious experience. It's not something that you want to publicize. If you ever, I don't know what your guys' situations are. Don't ever do DMT at a party or anything like that, where someone's going to jump in your face and ask you, what happened? What happened? What happened? Where'd you go? That kind of stuff is just ignorant. Ugh. Yeah, it only lasts 15 minutes. That's the cool thing about that one. All right, because a lot of people, they're never going to try, the other psychedelics in their life because, that lasts 8 hours, all right, until you're fully back to you. And you still got to take a nice sleep in order to get fully back to normal. So a lot of people don't have time for that. They go, well, DMT, 15 minutes, and you're completely sober again? Sounds like a plan. Oh, you might be sober again, but you won't be sober for the rest of your life. All right. You are going to be mind blown to the point where you don't know what anything means anymore. That's when you get back from a DMT trip, that's the first time in your life that you go, oh, I really am monkey. I thought I was smart human, top of the food chain, and I was the king of the world. But I really am just a monkey. Hey. A lot of people take offense to that, not even from like a racial perspective, but from like they don't like being taken down a notch. All right. There's something that they hold on to. They like to think that they are the pinnacle of evolution, and that we are not a monkey. All right. Calm down there. All right. You are a grain of sand floating in this universe that you don't even understand the true concept of. And what do you do with that time? What do you do with it? Do you watch Netflix? Do you go to work every day? Are you really anything but an animal? And we're just intelligent animals. But at the same time, if you truly understand what it all means, you are the center of the universe, giving meaning to life through your everyday actions. We're just, we're like little surveillance cameras for the universe. Like a submarine, how it has that little telescope thing that comes out of the water and looks around. The water is the universe, and we're just those little telescopes looking around. Top 5 coins for long-term holding: gold, platinum, silver. What I mean by that is Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum. I look at Bitcoin as gold, Ethereum as platinum, and Litecoin as silver. And then XMR, that's one of my top coins. And then I would if I had to pick another one. It would be a cross between EOS and Basic Attention Token. Those are my two favorite other ones. Did you just assume my species? I am attack helicopter. When using leverage, do you have to sell to repay, or can you repay without getting out of your position so you can keep the trade without leverage? So if you are talking about funding in terms of paying, pretty much if you are in profit, the funding will come out of your current profit. If you are in the negatives, the funding will come out of your margin. Okay. So sometimes if you're in the negatives, you have to repay if you want to hold on to that trade. But, you know, careful with magic mushrooms. I took 10. That didn't turn blue to see what it does. Well, end up in the hospital, but immediately it was one of the wildest rides. So psychedelics, okay, no matter what happens, whether you get stuck in a loop where you can't understand words, psychedelics, you are still sober. Okay, yes, you are not completely sober, but you are still conscious. You understand what is what. If you ever take them and you do have a bad experience, like 5 dried grams of magic mushrooms in silent darkness, you will forget these illusions, these concepts that as humans we've created. Mathematics doesn't exist. Language does not exist. The universe does not talk in mathematics. All right, it's a way of simplifying what it all is. So you're going to forget all of it, and to people that's tremendously terrifying. But reassure yourself that you are on a drug, and it will be over. You know, even though time dilates when you're on psychedelics, your concept of time is also lost. Just remember, just wait. You'll be fine. All right, just hang on, man. All right. Whatever happens, you're going to come back to normal. The only physical risk when taking psychedelics is going to be if you have a heart condition, because it does elevate your heart rate. Not significantly, but enough that if you do have a significant heart condition, it can lead to fatality. So, I mean, it's not for everybody. You have to make sure that you're in a healthy place. But besides that, there's no risk to mental damage. Okay, besides existential crises. Look at XRP again. Well, let's look at XRP again. We're down to 24 cents. Unfortunate, not catastrophic. Let's see. 1 hour. 1 hour is still holding the average. Well, I mean, that could, maybe not last for long. When it comes to the smaller time frames, we definitely have support around 23 cents. And I mean, if we even want to go down to 17 cents, we have support there. But when it comes to daily averages, the next major support is about 22 cents. I really don't have a solid opinion on Chainlink and Energy Web. I think they'll do well, but I can't really tell you my exact opinion on them. Let's see. Coinbase suspended XRP trading. Fair enough. If LSD causes mental damage, I guess I'm damaged. I've probably done more than a lot of people. Let's just say that. I wasn't saying buy at 35 cents. I was saying that if it got back above 35 cents, that could be a possible entry. I still think that the rich are DCAing into XRP. XRP, you have to think about it. All right. They are large enough to handle this lawsuit, whether they shove money down people's throats or they just pay these fees, whatever it might be. XRP is not going down without a fight. I hope they crash and burn. All honesty, I want that coin out of the market, but I don't think it's going to happen. Not anytime soon, at least. Now, LSD causing mental damage. It's not that the LSD caused the mental damage per se. If you have hereditary diseases such as schizophrenia, for example, all right, it's laying dormant in your brain. All right, if you have it, you already have it. It might not be triggered yet. Usually it's triggered by trauma or psychedelics. So if you have a large history of schizophrenia, do not take psychedelics. All right, so that's where the mental damage can come from. But in terms of there's also another thing called HPPD. Okay, HPPD is where you are completely sober, but you still have the side effects of tripping, such as tracers, that kind of stuff. Typically, what happens and what needs to happen in order for HPPD to be activated is you need to have a very, very strong psychological addiction to LSD or any other psychedelic. All right, psychedelics are completely different in the way that they work when it comes to tolerance. All right, if you take a acid trip and you take one tab and you want to trip the next day, you need to take 2 tabs to get the same exact effect, and then 4 tabs, and then 16 tabs. And then 8, and then 16. So there's people out there that trip every day. All right, and they will take 30 tabs at once. And to me, all right, if I have no tolerance and I take 30 tabs, I don't know what would happen. All right, but for them, it's like a normal 1-tab trip, but they're taking significantly more of that compound into their system. That is going to cause a physical change. All right, that is what can cause HPPD. But if you're using it correctly, and the maximum that you should ever do LSD is once every 2 weeks. And that's really pushing it, okay? I would say once every couple months, you are going to be completely fine. There is not going to be any physical damage as long as you don't have any hereditary, mental diseases laying dormant, all right? But this is why we need education. We need to really talk to people about the healthy way to use things because they're tools. They should be treated as such. All right. There's a time and a place to use a hammer. There's a time and a place to use a screwdriver. All right. You have to learn how to use the tool effectively. If you try to hammer in a screw with a screwdriver, you're probably going to put a hole in your wall. All right. You're probably going to miss the screw and put a hole in your wall, damaging the wall. You have to learn how to use it effectively. Microdosing every 3 days is healthy. Okay. Because you're taking a significantly small amount and you're giving yourself time for it to leave your system. That is a healthy way to use it. But if you're taking 30 tabs every single day just to get a micro dose level trip, you're going to cause severe damage. So we took LSD for years, mate, friends. So did they fall under any of the categories I talked about? Like overusing it, taking way too much? Because the most I've ever done is 3. All right, that's the maximum I've ever gone to. All right, I'm not looking to have the most wild experience in the world. I'm just trying to push my consciousness towards a creative perspective in order to enhance certain aspects of my life. How do you adjust your leverage with each trade? For example, if you have multiple trades open, do you enter the available balance or total equity of the portfolio size on the calculator? So I explained this in the last live stream. Let's say you have $1,000 and there are 3 trades that you can take. Okay. Let's say that I want to use 10% risk of the total portfolio. Okay. So when I open up the first trade, let's say that I'm using 20% margin, 50% risk, which is 10% risk of the totality. Okay. So if I lose that trade, I will have $900 left. All right. So that means I have $900, even if I only have $800 available, right? If I lose that trade, I'm going to have $900 because it's going to free up the other $100. So now the next trade that I take is going to be $90 risk. And the trade after that is going to be $80 risk. That way it works out. Never tried ketamine. I've seen too many people talk. I know that there's a lot of states that are going to therapeutic ketamine use. I personally have never touched it. It's just not something that I am aware of in terms of, I'm not going to try something unless I've done extensive research on it, looking at the pros and cons, how to use it safely. I do my research in order to make sure that I don't have negative side effects. CK's a crazy kangaroo. Like, I understand, like, if you have a negative view on LSD now because you saw how your friends ended up, but it's from lack of education and overuse. They are tools. They are not meant to party. They are fun, and I think psychedelics should be used in a party type manner, but not like a rave or, like anything like that. I think it should be like a couple close friends. You guys take it. You guys have a nice time. You guys laugh. You guys bond. That's what it's there for. It's not for a gigantic group of people that don't care about you. One of my worst acid trips taught me to be in the moment. We always talk about being in the moment, but I think I was a little bit past 18, and I was doing exactly this. I was trading, and I took one, and I wanted to have a nice chill night, and then my roommates come in, and at the time, I didn't smoke. I didn't smoke any marijuana. I don't really like marijuana. It gets my heart rate too high for some reason, so I don't really use it anymore. But I was 18. They came into my room, and they would always harp on me because, you don't smoke, you're not cool, blah, blah, blah. So they were like, you wanna smoke some? So I did it, and I'm sitting here, and my entire body starts paralyzing from the feet up. All right. So I turn to them, and I go, guys, I'm tripping. And they go, yeah, you are. Yeah, marijuana gets you tripping. Yeah, no tolerance. And I go, no. I took a tab. This is not affecting me well. And I went to my bed. I laid down. I put some earbuds in. And I just started focusing on my breath. And there's like a meditation technique where you try to feel the inside of your body from the inside out. Your entire body at the same time. And then you focus on a distant point behind your eyelids, as far as you can see in that black void behind your eyelids, and you focus on it, and you don't break the stare. And then, if you're really adept at it, you can do it with anything, but music helps because, we live in that type of society. So I put on my favorite playlist, and typically when we listen to songs, we either listen ahead because we want to predict the lyric, so that we can sing along to it, whether it's in our heads or out loud, or we focus on a lyric that was previously said because we like that lyric, or, it kind of just hit home. But we never focus on the exact syllable, the exact note that hits our eardrums at that instantaneous moment where it hits us. We're always kind of like living in the past, like, you know, kind of just processing information. We're never just letting information hit us, and then we don't care whether or not it's fully processed or not. We just continue going on. So I did this, and it turned into the most beautiful experience I've ever had. You know, I completely felt like I was gone. Not in like I was gone, bro, but like my essence was no longer separated from everything else around me. And the music turned into this beautiful, and like the music would slow down and speed up, and it was so amazing. And it was a very beautiful experience that came from a very terrifying one. But you just have to learn how to stop trying to control everything and just listen. Oh my gosh, CHL. All right, multiple people have asked me about this. What is the coin? What is it a stock? Is it a crypto? Is it a person? Is it a place? Is it a car brand? I don't know. You keep saying CHL, but I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know if it's a troll at this point. Has to be a troll at this point. Let's see. What about lucid dreaming? Been trying to practice that lately, but it's tough. First off, you have to keep a very detailed dream journal. Pretty much as soon as you wake up, within the first 5 minutes, you're going to forget your dream. So if you don't write it down, or at least keep like a voice memo of it, you're going to lose it. So yeah, first you have to train your brain to not only be conscious in a dream, but conscious of a dream while outside of it. So pretty much what you want to do is keep a detailed dream journal. Now, a lot of people go, well, I don't remember my dreams in the first place. So if you don't remember your dreams in the first place, write down, I don't remember my dream. Mark down the date and try to think of your dream. And if you can't remember your dream, write, I don't remember my dream. And what you're doing is, even though you can't remember it, you're telling your brain that you wanted to. You're causing a subconscious change in the way that you want things to happen. So then, slowly but surely, after many, many nights of saying, I don't remember my dream, you're going to remember something. Maybe a place, a person, a scenario, and you put as much detail into it as you possibly can. And over like the course of months, you're going to be able to start to write these very, very detailed descriptions of these worlds, and these places and these scenarios and these people. And then what you'll start to notice is, what you want to do is you want to go back in your dream journal and start looking for similarities. You know, maybe it's a certain person, maybe it's a certain place, something like that. And then you want to go ahead and say, okay, if I see this person, I'm going to do a reality check. All right. So if in your dreams, you're constantly at your work, okay, in reality, when you go into your workplace, as soon as you enter the door, count your fingers. Go, am I dreaming? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Flip them over, look again, and then go, yes, I am dreaming. So it's like a 3-step process. And then once you are in your dream and you enter your workplace, you're going to do that exact thing, but you're going to have 11 fingers. Maybe you're going to have 9 fingers. Maybe you're not going to have fingers. Maybe you're just going to have stumps. All right. And then you go, well, this is strange. And then you go, I'm in a dream. And then you go, okay, let me get my fingers back to normal. And you think about your fingers and what they should look like. And then they shapeshift. And then you go do what you want to do. All right. Explore your subconscious. Figure yourself out. That's what it's for. My house is surrounded by San Pedro cactus, DMT. Just haven't been tempted to try it yet, but I will when the time is right. There's never a right time to die. That's what I tell people all the time. If you take DMT, you're going to die. All right. And then people go, well, why would I take something if I'm going to die? You're not going to physically die, but you're going to die. You're going to have a complete disintegration of ego. You're going to forget who you are, what you love, and you're going to experience something that is so profound that when you come back, you'll have a hard time explaining it, and it's so aggravating that you kind of just try to forget it and quit talking about it. But yeah, are you ready to die? You recommend this drug? I don't recommend it, okay? I'm just saying that it's helped me tremendously. What? You okay? I thought Fish was choking for a second and scared me. Hey, go lay down. Yeah, if your coin's not on TradingView, it's not worth talking about. I'm sorry. Algorand is Algo, right? That's the ticker for it. All right, let's go to the daily. Let's see. Looks like you got a nice reversal pattern here to go back up to this $66 range. Looks like we got a nice inverse head and shoulders. So you're probably waiting for this diagonal / horizontal to break. So I'd probably say enter somewhere around like 38 cents. And you'll be targeting 66 cents. So almost a 100% gain there. You know, about 75, 80%. Well, that's algo. I like how you talk. You're like me, lucid dreamer. To activate dream state, you can also look in your hand several times in your day. Exactly. A Chinese hamster lung. Did you ever see your dream guide? Not really. A lot of times when I go into a lucid dream, there's nobody there. It's just this empty world. Desolate. I don't know how to explain it. I've never had a good dream. I know what you mean. A lot of my dreams are quite weird. Like one of my favorite dreams I've ever had was there was this family of 4 that lived on a farm, and they were just a regular family, and I saw their day-to-day schedule. But what they didn't know was there's a military compound underneath the ground of their home that was testing sound waves that would make people go insane and act violent. So then they would send out these short signals, and slowly but surely, this family became more and more dysfunctional until they started blasting them with these sound waves, and then eventually everybody was dead and the house was burning to the ground, and that was the last image I saw of the dream. Heard of remote viewing, possibly used to predict future prices? Yeah. I learned about remote viewing when I was 12 years old from my stepfather. He would go on submarines for 6 months at a time, and then he would meditate, and he would go remote view his family to keep up to date. And then when he would resurface, he would call them and then ask them if this, and this happened, and they would go, "How do you know that?" And when I was a kid, I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. I thought it was like a superpower. So I've been around the block, so to speak. I had one just a couple months ago. I was doing Wim Hof for about like 3 hours straight, and then I realized that my body had fallen asleep, and I wasn't doing Wim Hof anymore, but I was completely conscious. So I rolled out of my body and I fell to the floor. I ended up talking to somebody. I don't know. Crazy talk. Fish got a hold of his stash. I don't have a stash. Okay. I know I talk about this stuff a lot, but I don't have like a, I don't keep those things. Okay. If I'm going to do it, I get just enough for me to do it. I'm not going to have any extra because monkey brain, monkey see, monkey do. All right. Sometimes we can't help ourselves. And anyways, you know, I'm a public personality. There could be somebody at any moment that has a grudge against me, tracks my IP, and it has a SWAT team come in because they faked me with a gun or something like that. And then all of a sudden, boom. All right. You know, even though I didn't do anything wrong and I wasn't trying to kill anybody, SWAT team came in, found it, I would go to prison. Okay. Not going to have that happen. So anybody out there, if you got that idea, just know, if you do it to me, I will find you. I got enough money to hire enough people to make your life a living hell, even though I don't want to. All right. Even if someone does me terribly wrong like that, I don't want to hurt you. I'm never going to do anything like that. And somebody asked the question, what trades am I in? I'm in Bitcoin long, Ethereum long, and an LTC long, all from the breaks of resistances. I think XRP is going to have a nice rebound after they figure the lawsuit out. But as of right now, you know, it's up to you. That does sound familiar. I don't know exactly what the topic, how the conversation exactly went, but when I had my lucid dream, if you want to call it that, I don't remember if it was a humanoid or a spirit animal or something like that. I just remember the bright color orange, and I had a conversation with this entity, basically asking me why I'm trying to pursue this. Why am I trying to go outside my limits? And I don't know what I said, and I don't know how the conversation ended, but I know that that was the topic of the conversation. And then one more thing happened, and then that was the end of it. Do you ever long support? Yeah, if we're in a range and we have a double bottom, I will long support. What was your biggest, most profitable trade? I would say the current long that I am in on Ethereum from $333 on my main account. All right, I've been holding that for quite a while. We're already up 100% on price action. Well, almost. Yeah, we are up 100% on price action, even further than that. And I am using a lot of risk. Not a lot, but like a lot of money in terms of risk. And I forgot what leverage I'm on. I haven't checked that trade in a couple days. Any decent trades coming up? No, we have to see where we get rejected or find support, and then we can start planning trades from there. There's no trades at the current moment that are interesting to me besides the ones I'm in. Bro, I'm not a Fed. Don't worry, I'm not going to raid you. Need to do a shaman guided psilocybin trip. I think that would be pretty cool. What is the difference between your Telegram and Discord? So Telegram is where I give my calls and you guys can have discussions in the general chat. The Discord itself is to have real chats, like, you know, physical vocals. So every Thursday and every Saturday we have a meeting in Discord. And as well as that, there's many different categories in the Discord, you know, different channels that have varieties of resources, and also, you know, profit logs and stuff like that. Ugh. I try to wake myself up earlier than my 8 hours. So I'm kind of tired, but I need to get to bed at an earlier time. So if I wake up a little bit earlier and I'm tired throughout the day, I should have an easier time sleeping tonight. What are you doing for New Year's Eve? I don't know yet. I don't have like a party planned or anything like that. I was just planning on staying on live streaming until the ball hit 0 and it's the New Year's. That way I can celebrate with you guys. Robert, I have to go. Been fun. Take care. You too, man. Thank you very much. Hold on, I'm trying to get because after this live stream I want to order some food. I gotta transfer something. Is there a ball in every US time zone or just Times Square? I'm pretty sure it's just Times Square. So we all kind of celebrate at the same time. We were talking a lot over Telegram. What do you think of being more in Discord to have the conversation? I'm definitely gonna be more in the Telegram because I feel like it's easier to chat on the go, and it's literally just one group for everything. But I mean, that's why we have the actual weekly meetings in the Discord. But I'm mostly gonna be in the Telegram, just because that way there's not 1,000 different notifications from different channels. It's just one channel. And what do you think of the overall cryptocurrency future? Will token work as stocks or as payment methods in which we have to have multiple kinds of coins to pay for different services? So mostly you want to look at them as stores of value. All right, so that's why when I talk about Bitcoin, I refer to gold a lot. All right, Bitcoin's not going to be used as a currency. It can be used as such because it is easy to be used as a currency, but you should look at it as if it's gold, like an enhanced gold for the modern age. Okay, but there's certain coins out there that can be used. Now, there's certain coins that are looking to consolidate and make it easier to do everything under a collective coin, like XLM. But you really have to just kind of, well, I can't tell you that exactly. I don't know. But there's gonna be some sort of fight. You can already kind of see it in the works. Government's trying to slow down the progress, but they can't. It's mathematically impossible to keep these things from rising. All right. Now, you might be saying to yourself, well, the United States government stepped in and they shut down XRP, and look at the price now. You stopped it from rising. XRP is a different story. XRP is controlled by a single entity, as well as that it's not a deflationary currency. They can always print more. Bitcoin, on the other hand, there's nobody to prosecute. They can't stop it. As long as there's some average Joe in his basement mining Bitcoin, the progress goes on. It's going to be a fight between the old money and the new money. It really is. That's why I think the future of Bitcoin is going, or cryptocurrencies in general. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. That's why, I have a good amount of money in crypto, but I'm not pulling it out. I pay my taxes on what I withdraw, but I want to see where things go. You should talk. You should ban CHL from being talked about. It's not hurting anybody. They're not being negative. They're just saying stupid stuff. They're adding to my viewer count and increasing engagement. So, in all honesty, you think that you're getting your coin out there, but I don't think anybody's going to invest in your coin. I think my viewers are smarter than the average bear. Hey, boo boo. Yeah, so Telegram actually added voice capabilities to Telegram. So I don't know how I'm going to utilize it yet or make a schedule around it, but I think that'd be pretty damn cool. We'll see how it works out, if the connection's good, all that good jazz. But that'd be pretty awesome. What I think I might do in the future is when I go ahead and post like a setup, I might start like a quick 5 to 10 minute call explaining, hey, you know, this is the setup. This is what you want to look for. You know, that kind of stuff. We might do something like that in the future. Stepped away from crypto for a year, still giving lessons. Yep. So we got the Telegram, which is $50 a month. I think that's appropriate. But if you guys don't want to pay monthly, you guys can pay a one-time fee of $450 through crypto or $500 through USD. And then you get one-on-one lessons from me personally. And then as well as that, you get lifetime Telegram and the Discord. All right. The $50 a month only gets you access to the Telegram. I think that's completely fair, you know, but, I got a real one for you. BTC and quantum computing. Any real concerns? No, there's no real concerns. One, coins are already starting to quantum proof, as well as that quantum computers work differently. Yes, theoretically, they have enough power to crack any code or any encryption, but quantum computers are not the same types of computers that we're used to. Okay. And I don't think they're going to be of any use. So there's a lot of like conspiracy theories when it comes to cryptos on how they could possibly die. Okay. So one, you have a 51% attack, which already China owns 51%. Now it's not China, but it's companies in China collectively already owns 51% of the hash network. So they go, well, what if they have a 51% attack and they start counterfeiting Bitcoin? Why would they do that? One, they're already making enough money from mining Bitcoin, as well as that, as long as there is an average Joe in his basement that has the real network on his ledger, and he's mining, it will fork off all of the fake Bitcoin. So that's not a problem. It's set up that way to make sure that there can't be a single entity that owns anything. All right. It only takes one guy. As well as that, they go, what if all the power in the world or the network got, or if the internet got shut off? If that happened, money is the least of your concerns. All right. Yeah. At that point, probably gone skis. But at that same point, all governments are thrown out the window. All social norms are thrown out the window. So if that happens, you got a lot more to worry about than your Bitcoin. Quantum computing, you know, hacking in. But what would that do? Once again, even if quantum computing could hack the network, they would just fork off the coins. It's whoever thought of this, whoever it was, whether it was Elon Musk or some crazy dude, you know, high on psychedelics, they thought of everything, and it's kind of crazy. So I have a couple theories on who created Bitcoin. I think either somebody has found out how to make an actual AI, and that AI has been controlling the market slightly in certain points with the Satoshi wallet, and it's set up to make sure that it looks like it's staying dormant. Or it's Elon Musk, the person who created a internet medium of exchange to make sure that everybody can transact currency fast and efficiently, no matter what currency they're using or where they're from. So why would a man that created a system that could theoretically change the commerce system forever go ahead and ditch the company? Well, maybe he realized that the currencies in question that were going to be used on that system were the problem, not the system of exchange itself. Go lay down. Go lay down. Hey, Kite, sent you some ideas on how to grow your channel in my first week's homework. Check your Discord. I did see that. Thank you very much. I didn't reply to it. I'm very sorry. But I read over it. And a lot of the things you were bringing up, like thumbnails and, making the live stream shorter, I hired an editor to make sure that we can get that information condensed so that people don't have to sit through a 2-hour live stream. Are you still being active on TikTok? Not recently, because I'm waiting for this next range to solidify before I give an update. Do you have a buy order on XRP? Nah, not yet. Stupid. Hey, go lay down. Stop, buddy. Stop. Hey, Kite, is the Telegram access fee a one-off or monthly payment? It's both. So like I said, if you do the one-time payment, you get extras as well. You get one-on-one sessions, you get the Discord as well as the Telegram for a lifetime. But if you're doing the monthly, it's $50 a month. I'm gonna have to go here soon. Fish is getting antsy. I think he wants to go outside, go for a walk. So we'll start saying goodbye. No, nice little live stream. We talked about how to set up your charts correctly. We talked about smaller time frame price action. We answered some FUD. Like I said, when it dumped, what did we say? Previous resistance, looking to make a double bottom, and then we're going to go ahead and start going up from there. Boom. Exactly that happened. And we can even make a smaller double bottom right here as well. What if China wants to bankrupt people to assist in the implementation of communist control? The people in charge, the people that actually run this world, will never, ever want a single country. All right? In our society, ever since I was a kid, I've been hearing about this thing called the New World Order. It's this conspiracy theory that, whether it's the United States or a collective group of the countries, they want to bring down governments and then create a single government under one entity. And a lot of people relate that to like biblical stuff and all that kind of stuff. But when you're trying to have better control of something, do you just mash it all together, or do you keep it separate and organized? You keep it separate, all right? And you have to ask yourself, how does an average Joe, somebody that is of no significance to the political system of the planet, know about this intricate plan to overthrow everything and have a one world government? I think that if there is such a entity or collective people that wants to control everything, they would plant that conspiracy theory in the minds of the people and convince them. It's like reverse psychology. They would convince them that they don't want that and that it's an evil thing. So that way it never happens. And as well as that, they keep supplying us with racism on the TV and all this stuff to keep us separated. That way we don't work together. But if you really understand what needs to happen in order for the human race to survive for the next couple thousand generations, there has to be a point where we abolish governments, and there has to be a new world order. It's not going to be evil. It's going to be us working together as a species, a planet, not countries. It's what needs to happen. So all of this information that they're flooding to us about, you know, the New World Order's evil, you know, we don't want it, all this kind of stuff. It's reverse psychology. They want to keep us separate. So that's my conspiracy corner of the day. Can you check 80? We already checked ADA. I'm very sorry, but I got to take fish out. I got to take him on a walk. So if you can go back in the live stream, find out where it was. I know I don't have it marked or anything like that, but we already checked it out. I believe we tested the previous resistance, confirmed support on the double bottom, and we're moving up towards a larger target. So just look at your chart, look for that double bottom pattern. You should be able to figure it out from there. Alien. Bye, man. Thanks a lot. It was nice to catch you again in live stream, Radosh. As always, thank you very much, man. Appreciate it. Tyler T, see you next time, Kite. Thanks for the stream. You too, buddy. Thank you very much. Crypto Juggle, thanks that just joined. Great stream, Kite. Kite and crew. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate it. No. We're raised to think that we need a leader. That you know, whether you want to look at it from a religious context, you know, this entire universe, there's no way that it can't be this way unless there was a man in the sky organizing each and every detail. There's no way that a country can run without you know, a leader in charge. We're conditioned that we have to have somebody in charge. But if we're all working for the betterment of existence, the leader is not a person, it's an ideology. We look up towards a certain moral value as a leader rather than a single person. What are your thoughts on artificial intelligence, future impact on society? I share Elon Musk's views that it's an inevitability. I don't know why I can't say that. It's going to happen at some point or another. So we have to learn how to work with it. So that's why he's creating Neuralink. Every single invention in the human history that is any of significance, not just for consumerism, but for really the betterment of society, has been for better communication for humans. Whether it's money to communicate value, whether it's cars, boats, trains, planes, to get us place to place quicker, to communicate faster, telephones, internet, power systems to power those means of communication. Every single thing in the existence of humanity that's of any significance has been about better communication. And I believe wholeheartedly that Neuralink is going to be the next step in the human evolution when it comes to communication. Instead of using language, we're going to be sending intentions and emotions directly to one another. So there's no room for interpretation. You'll know exactly what I meant rather than me being able to hide behind my words or you to misinterpret them. So it's going to be quite the ride. I will say so. Risk to reward isn't working. The new calculator that I uploaded is not working. There must be some issue with Dropbox because the calculator works. Don't open it from Dropbox. Physically download it and see if that helps. Otherwise, I really don't know. But I know everybody that's downloaded it from the Telegram group, there's been no issues. Yeah, when you have a trip on DMT and you go to that other place, you quickly realize that there is no language. There's no telepathy. There's no physical language. It's an instantaneous knowing and understanding of what the other entity is trying to communicate with you. And it's not like you're sending individual thoughts and then keeping some to yourself, like telepathy. There's no barrier between you and them. If you think something or feel something, there's an instantaneous understanding. It's like you can see right through them. That's where we need to get to. We need to break down the barrier, the separation of self, the ego, and look at everybody else as an extension. Like we're all nerve cells in a gigantic body, rather than I am Austin and you are David. Therefore, you have a different opinion in a different name. So therefore, I am separate from you. You know, it's got to end. It's gonna end some way or another, or else we're gonna kill each other. Which I like to be on the. I think kindness will always win in the end. Bitbird, Caribbean Crypto. Goodbye, guys. I'll see you in the next one. JP, later, man. Appreciate you, buddy. James, see you, Kite. Thanks for the wise guidance. As always, man. I appreciate you being here. Bye, fish. Goodbye. Samadian. Your name is very, very close to a concept in Sanskrit, which is exactly what I was talking about, getting rid of the ego. Self-suffering, which is samadhi. All right, guys. I can sit here and talk about this kind of stuff for all day. You know, in the future, you know, I might create a separate channel where I purely talk about consciousness and what it's like to be a human, the human condition, and conspiracy theories and all that. I think that'd be a cool channel. Do you believe in God? Yes. I don't know what he is, or if it is a him. In the Bible, God never refers to himself as a single entity. He always refers to himself as a collective. When he says stuff, he says us. He has become like us. So, the greatest trick God ever played was convincing himself that he is not. But with that being said, goodbye, guys. Hopefully you guys have great days. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. If anything major happens, I will show up tomorrow as well. Hopefully you guys eat well, sleep well, trade well. I love you very much, and I'll see you guys in the next live stream. All right. I'm going to go take fish on a walk, grab some food, hang out for the rest of the day. As always, you guys can always message me on Discord, whether it's to sign up for something or if it's just a question. I'm there for you. Let me know. You know, I'd rather you message me before you make you know, I'm not going to say that if you message me, I'm going to prevent you from making a catastrophic decision. If you need extra input, I'm there for you. But all right, guys, I love you. I'll see you later. Goodbye.